Hey guys, it's Crispy. I'm here to do a film review for The Banshees of Inisherin. This is a movie directed by Martin McDonagh. He's done other movies like In Bruges, Seven Psychopaths, and Three Billboards from Outside Ebbing, Missouri. I think I just named all the movies he's done before this because he was mainly a playwright. I think before all of this stuff. But nonetheless, this is a reunion of Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson. They acted together in lead roles in the movie In Bruges. And they're back in this one. Uh, and I'll just have to say I really enjoyed this movie a lot. It's been hailed a masterpiece. Like, some people have been giving it perfect ratings. Yeah, just pretty much hailing it like with top top honors. This is an incredible movie. That's what I came in knowing. Uh, Three Billboards was my favorite movie of 2017, so my hopes were really high for this movie, and I'm gonna be real with you. It didn't disappoint me. Like, this is one of the best movies of the year, but it isn't as good as I was like thinking it would be. I did kind of go like, okay, this is a little bit more of a tame type movie. Um, you got like this really basic story. Farrell plays this really sweet and compassionate dude, and he's best friends with this character played by Brendan Gleeson. I can't pronounce their fucking names because it's Gaelic, and that shit's really hard to spell. I tried doing it. But yeah, one day Colin Farrell's character goes to Brendan Gleeson's character's house and asks if he's gonna beat him in the pub, and he's just not paying attention to him, and he's just saying like, "Yo, I don't want to be your friend anymore." To Colin Farrell's character, and he's like, "What the hell? Like, what's wrong? What I do?" And he's like, "Not really anything. I just find you dull and annoying and stupid, just boring." And that takes a toll to Colin Farrell's character because this island is so like small that everyone in the town pretty much knows each other. So like as soon as something happens, usually like the news travels very quickly and everyone knows because everyone knows each other. And you can totally tell when you're watching the movie that Colin Farrell was living a very peace and tranquil and happy life, and he loved his pony. He loved his donkey, like he loved his house and his sister, and just living a very happy-go-lucky life. But then when this happened, this started kind of taking a shift into how his life was. Like it started taking a shift to his personality, and it starts to affect the town. And the way that this movie's written, the way that it's set up, is so good. Albeit like kind of basic. Like if you just watch it in just a one dimensional lens, you know what I mean? But when you actually take a look at the lines and the dialogue and what is being said, there's a meaning behind it. In a way, like it's somewhat of an allegory to the Irish Civil War, even though it's not brought up a whole lot. But the environment and where these characters are and how they're living, it's peaceful, but just across the island, like there's no peace, there's a war, there's people getting killed, executed, innocent people, soldiers, and there's oppression happening. And even though you don't get to see that grimy side, like really all that much, is you still feel that these people are being affected in some way. And I really like the layers that brings itself in this movie with the dialogue. It's beautiful, and then on top of that, the cinematography is absolutely fucking beautiful because they're shooting this on location in like off the coast of Ireland, in that island, and yeah, it's just really really good. The color palette, the color palette that they use for this movie is also really beautiful. And the acting is just incredible. Brendan Gleeson, Colin Farrell, um, the sister in the movie, played by Carrie Condon. You got Barry Keoghan here, who has worked with Colin Farrell before in Killing of the Sacred Deer, and he was the Joker in Batman very briefly. That fucking scene sucked, but yeah, this is a really tight movie, very good, and one of my most anticipated movies of this year. and I finally got to see it. And you know what? I wasn't really disappointed. I really liked what I saw. I could definitely see this getting an Oscar nomination for Best Actor for Colin Farrell. Brendan Gleeson could get Best Supporting, and actress for Carrie because she was amazing. And Barry Keoghan is so fucking funny in this movie. Like he always plays like he sometimes does play like a really oddball type of dude, but he's kind of a voice of reason in this movie, even though he comes off as very dull. And I really like that in this movie that they have these shots. Sometimes they're even off focus, and they're just there. It doesn't really ask for your attention. And it's not like this movie requires extra viewings. Like that's not what I'm trying to say. But there's a really delicate detail that is to this movie, and I really appreciate that, and I really love that movies do that from time to time. um and Yeah, I'm gonna give this 3.5 bacon strips, whatever, three and a half bacon strips out of five. The cinematography is incredible, the acting's great, the writing is just superb. So just let me know what you think about the movie if you saw it. um Either way, just comment down below. Just let me know if you have any questions about this movie, or if it's worth for you to see it. Like if really, there are movies that if you watch the trailer and it's not for you, then it's not for you. That's how I feel. Like I don't feel like this is a movie that's a necessity for people to watch. So I think that's why it's at the 3.5 scale for me. If I do a movie that's kind of a five, sometimes it's really just for personal. I mean, this whole channel is just based upon personal preference. I'm gonna just put that out there. But if you agree with what I feel, like, that's cool. If not, that's cool too. But at the same time, I do kind of get a sense of what I can recommend and not recommend to people, and I feel like this movie is just a little bit on the half and half of who I would recommend it to, because of its simplicity, and just people don't always go to movies for a spectacle, and just very simplistic cinematography, but yet beautiful cinematography and great acting. Sometimes people go for the out of the ordinary spectacle, like they want to watch vampire hunters and shit like that, and this isn't that type of movie. um but it's worth a shot. If you have a matinee day that you would like to watch a movie, I think this is a perfect matinee movie. Just watch it before it gets busy in the middle of the day, and then do what you need to do after that. um Anyway, same thing as I always say: comment down below, subscribe, like or dislike, whatever. Crispy, love you guys.